You're tuned into the first newscast devoted to the Highland Lakes area. Local team coverage on Tribune Headline News, bringing you the stories you care about now. Hi everyone, I'm Connie Swinney. You're watching the Picayune TV on Northland Channel 15. Here's a look at the stories we've been working on. The Marble Falls City Council tightens regulations for peddlers around the community. We have a list of the new rules. It could cost taxpayers more for EMS services. Fuel costs could be driving the fee. And city leaders want to put students in classrooms at a multi-million-dollar facility now home to an alternative fuel car maker.
Sunny and hot over the next few days ahead. More details later in your weather.
Thanks, Deanna. See you in a moment. We also have the latest on a residency debate concerning the Marble Falls Economic Development Corporation. You're watching Tribune Headline News. We'll be right back after the break.
We are established. We are qualified. We are certified. We are knowledgeable. We are dependable. We are Ken's Heating and Air. Our people make the difference.
Welcome back. As it stands now, you must live within the Marble Falls city limits to serve on the community's Economic Development Corporation. And that's the way it will remain for now, according to the EDC. At issue was a proposal to potentially expand the candidates pool for the EDC board. EDC members proposed permitting people who own businesses in the city but live within 10 miles of the city limits to be able to serve on the board. Marble Falls City Council, which appoints and oversees the board, had approved the idea, but with a few changes. The two groups couldn't agree on those changes, and the EDC eventually shot down the proposal altogether to be brought up at a later time. In our next headline, peddlers on Marble Falls City streets have a few more rules to follow as they sell their wares to the public. Local peddlers include businesses like this brick oven pizza stand on Highway 281 in Marble Falls. An updated policy for street vendors includes displaying state health permits and providing quarterly sales tax reports to the city. During a recent city council meeting, one vendor was able to ask for possible variances for businesses to operate outside the 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. requirement during peak tourism seasons. The council offered to handle extensions upon request on a case-by-case basis.
Being a tourist town, a lot of folks in the summer probably may not get around to eating until after 7 o'clock. And you know, this time of night, definitely when people want to come and eat wood-fired brick oven pizzas. So that was an issue. Along with more restrictions comes an increase in fees for vendors. Those increases are from $10 to $50 for one-person outfits and from $20 to $200 for businesses with 2 or more people. In our next headline, we have another potential fee increase to tell you about. This time, the price for emergency crews to come to your door if you live in and around Marble Falls. Marble Falls Area EMS approached the City Council for their approval of a string of fee increases. One involves a 10% increase in the so-called non-emergency base rate from $815 to $895. Local EMS officials say they have not asked for such increases in 6 years, but now the cost of doing business is outpacing their ability to properly fund the operation. The current fuel budget, according to the director, is running more than $9,000 over budget.
It'll help to offset our fuel costs, which have just really gone through the roof this year, and then our medical supplies, which those vendors that sell us our medical supplies, they also go up on their delivery charges.
The council passed the first reading of the proposed fee increases. If finally approved, the increases could go into effect June 1st. EMS officials must ask each government entity within its jurisdiction for approval before the fees can go into effect. Coming up next, your local weather forecast, plus the latest water conservation steps taken by the BURNET community.
Fans can be proud of the Faith Academy track teams. We're going to tell you why, coming up in sports.
We're back. Drought conditions continue to grip the area. The city of BURNET is the first to ask for voluntary water conservation measures from their citizens. The Stage 1 drought plan recommendations include an outdoor watering schedule coinciding with street addresses. And avoid washing vehicles or watering yards between 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. is another recommendation. You can find more details at the website on your screen. As you can see, the conditions are very, very dry out there, and there doesn't seem to be much relief in sight. Here's Deanna Nail with your weather forecast.
Hey everyone, I'm Deanna Nail, back with your PicayuneTV.com weather forecast here on Northland Cable Channel 15. Well, it looks like we'll start our weekend with morning low clouds Friday and reaching highs near 90 degrees. Let's take a look at more of the weekend ahead. Into our Friday evening, it looks like we have increasing clouds with lows around 66, south winds between 5 and 15 miles an hour, but watch out, those wind gusts are back, reaching as high as 20 miles per hour. Into our Saturday, we've got partly sunny skies for that chilly cook-off with highs near 90 degrees. Southwest winds between 10 and 15 miles an hour, but gust again as high as 20 miles per hour. Into our Saturday evening, mostly cloudy skies with lows around 71, with those wind gusts sticking around. And into our Sunday, to wrap up our weekend, we've got partly sunny skies with highs near 92 degrees, and those winds getting up as high as 20 miles an hour again. And into our Sunday evening, mostly cloudy skies with lows around 72 degrees. And for Monday, it looks like we've got partly sunny skies with highs reaching near 93, and those wind gusts are sticking around for the work week. Looks like much of the same weather to start off our work week next week. Everyone have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on the PicayuneTV.com and Northland Cable Channel 15. Connie, back to you.
Deanna, thanks. Jennifer Fierro joins us with a look at sports.
The Faith Academy track teams will be at the state meet that starts Friday afternoon. And that's because the Lady Flames were able to get their second straight regional championship thanks to scoring 134 points. That is the exact point total that head coach Steve McCannon predicted his team would score going into the regional meet. The team was led by senior Jordan Gray, who qualified in 4 events.
Well, I really want to break the 100 hurdle record. It's the oldest record in 2A right now, 2A girls. It was made in 1988. It's 15 seconds, 15:17, and I ran 15:16. I ran 15:17 at regionals, so I just need to get below it.
The Lady Flames set a new school record by sending 10 girls to the state meet. Not to be outdone, the Flames finished with 61 points in the boys division to go second overall. And that means they also sent 8 Flames to the state meet, including sophomore Brian Freeman. We did get a chance to talk to Brian about the state meet, and then of course we caught up with head coach Russ Roberts and got his thoughts. Here's what they had to say.
It feels great. You know, we haven't really been as well in track, the guys team at least, as we have been this year. We won district. I don't think we've ever done that, and we did really, really good in regionals. So I think we're having a great year according to standards and stuff.
Well, I think the first thing it says is the oddest thing that God has blessed us here at the academy with some unusually gifted athletes. I think we're a lot more athletic here than people would give us credit for, and that's a huge thing, especially in the eyes of a track coach, because in track you can't really strategize, you can't really hide faults and weaknesses. So I think it says that first, and then secondly, and probably more importantly, it talks about the character of our kids. These are kids that, because of their great situations that they've come out of or they've gotten into, that they're very dedicated, and they have a ability to commit to a goal, and I think that's one of the things that's been a pleasure for me all year long coming out of the public schools, the way our kids can commit to a goal, focus on it, stay focused, and improve.
The state meet will be in Waco starting on Friday and concluding on Saturday. That's it for sports. I'm Jennifer Fierro. Connie, back to you.
Thanks so much, Jennifer, for that report. Marble Falls city leaders are putting on their thinking caps, trying to find ways to get a newly remodeled multi-million-dollar facility ready for classroom instruction. The so-called Colt Circle building is now home to alternative fuel car maker Ron Motor. But the facility, the former site of a candle factory, has as much as 20,000 square feet available for classroom space. Marble Falls leaders began discussions at a recent workshop to find ways to begin populating the remaining space with courses. It's proposed some of those courses include a culinary program, and that would be offered through Central Texas College. Other officials have recommended jail certification programs and other vocational and technical coursework. Those were your headlines. Stay tuned. Coming up next, our candidates forum. Early voting is going on right now, and to help you make your choices, now we bring you Burnett City Council candidates. Thanks for watching. For the Picayune TV, I'm Connie Swinney.
Hi, and welcome to Tribune Talk with Thomas Edwards, Special Candidates Edition. Today we're in beautiful downtown Burnett at the Hill Country Community Foundation building. We're going to be taking a look at the Burnett City Council races, putting the hard questions to the candidates. Stay tuned. Hi, and welcome to Tribune Talk with Thomas Edwards, Special Candidates Edition. Today we're taking a look at the Burnett City Council race. The field is a very crowded one. Although the mayor's race is unopposed, there are up to 9 candidates running for City Council. Today we're lucky to have 2 of those candidates be here with us on the show, Michelle Devaney and Carl Peel. Welcome to the show. Thank you.
Nice to be here.
We're going to toss a couple questions to them and see how they do. And then, of course, there'll be what we like to call the wild card question. Ms. Devaney, the first question is for you. What are the infrastructure weaknesses in Burnett, and what can be done about those?
Well, that's a good question. The biggest weaknesses in the city's infrastructure is the sewer treatment plant. Our current plant is old and running at full capacity with no room for growth. Plus, TCEQ requires that we fix it. The question was to update or replace it, and it was found to be more economical to replace it. If elected to City Council, then I will use my business accounting experience to make sure this much-needed improvement will not become a burden financially to the citizens of Burnett. Also, Burnett's population has grown by more than 20% in the last 10 years and is expected to continue to grow. An increase in population goes hand in hand with a needed increase in public safety services that include more employees, equipment, and a larger facility. They are necessary in order to maintain and promote a superior quality of life in the city of Burnett to all citizens and our future citizens.
Thank you very much, Ms. Devaney, for that answer. And now, Mr. Peel, I toss a question to you, sir.
Thank you. It's always tough to go second. Of course, I'd rather talk about those infrastructure things that really make Burnett a great place to live, but we're going to talk about the negatives. And she's exactly right. The waste treatment plant is number one. It's a $22 million expense. So we've got to find some creative ways to finance that to minimize the impact on our citizens. I'm also going to talk about the Galloway-Hammond Recreation Center. Because it's city-owned, it's also part of our infrastructure. But it's also a part of our infrastructure that requires $500,000 a year to keep the doors open. So we have to find new ways to fund that so that we can spend that $500,000 some other way. So there's 2 right there that we need a lot of work on.
Good. Well, thank you very much for that response. And now we'll move on to our second question. What is the best way to bring more industry and business to Burnett? And Ms. Devaney, again, we'll give you the first crack at that question.
All right, thank you very much. I believe that new businesses can be attracted with incentives such as grants, loans, the donation of in-kind city services, job tax credits per job created, and sales tax rebates. Attracting these new businesses will benefit the city by stimulating our local economy, which includes an increase in the city's tax base and the creation of additional jobs. A great example of some of these incentives working is ATMI and Stealth Industries. Our new sewer plant, other improvement projects and systems are needed to help prepare Burnett to handle these additional businesses. Then the city should actually help expedite the process that they must undergo to open a new business in Burnett. When companies look around for a place to locate, they look to see what Burnett has to offer in comparison with what other cities have. Burnett has to have a good incentive plan. As a current business owner-operator in the city, I feel I have the experience to be a great asset to the community in this area.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Devaney. And again, Mr. Peel, the question to you, what can be done to bring more business and industry to Burnett?
This one I could spend 30 minutes to an hour on, but I only have a minute here. So Basically, my main purpose will be to redirect the Economic Development Corporation of Burnet, which in the last 5 years has spent over $2.5 million on projects that really have not had any impact on the economic development. $600,000 to the remanufacture of the square. In 2009, they committed $500,000 to increase the turn lane, put a turn lane between Delaware Springs and Park Road 4, which there's not a retail business in that whole stretch of road. They also committed $500,000 to the new Hayes Nelson Park, which the park was already funded, but they decided that they needed to curb and pave all the roads down there to the cost of $322,000. And they also committed another $150,000 to an amphitheater. And most recently, the City Council and EDC did a little fun game and had the EDC buy a piece of property that the city already owned to build a fire department on. I don't understand that transaction. So I want to refocus EDC, economic development, to doing economic development projects.
I see. Thank you very much for that response. And now we get to what we like to call the wild card question. This is a question that the candidates have not been prepped for. It is completely off the cuff. That's what their answer will be. It has arisen from viewer participation, reader participation, and even bull sessions among us journalists. And so here we go. Let's see how our candidates do with the wild card question. This time we're going to start with Mr. Peel. Mr. Peel, do you see future growth at the Burnet Municipal Airport, and should it be expanded?
I consider the airport one of our crown jewels in our crown at Burnet. It's critical to our long-term growth. And I believe it's a major asset that we have, and we do have to continue to expand it so that we continue to get traffic into that airport. But it's a major asset, yes.
And Ms. Devaney, I'll toss the same question to you. Do you see future growth at the Burnet Municipal Airport, and should it be expanded?
Yes, I do. The Burnet Airport is a great asset, and with a bigger expansion, longer runway, we can bring in more industry, maybe some commuter flights, have more businesses come in. A lot of your big industries do have, corporate or higher CEOs that may not live here per se, but they do have businesses elsewhere, and they will be coming in and out. So I think a bigger airport improvement will be good.
Good. Thank you for your response. Thank you, viewers, for watching. This has been Tribune Talk with Thomas Edwards, Candidates Edition. Today, we've taken a look at the Burnet City Council race. It's a very crowded race. I want to thank our two guests, candidates Michelle Devaney and Carl Peel. Very nice of them to be here. We hope you'll go out and vote on May 14th. Exercise your right. Thank you very much for being with us.